Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, HollywoodShono here, about to give you another Injustice Gods Among Us video. And in this video we talk about teams that you can use with the Rebirth Jessica Cruz. Now obviously the Wally West Flash and the Raven that is supposed to be Rebirth, those two characters are not available yet, so this is going to be the patch 2.13 version of this. And by that I mean only characters that are available in this update. So, there are obviously a couple synergies with characters in general, like obviously 600 Wonder Woman is a strong choice because of 30% damage and power generation. So, 600 Wonder Woman, all female characters on Wonder Woman's team gain 30% damage and power generation. So, every female character can benefit from this. It makes Justice League Wonder Woman a beast. It makes Batgirl and Cassandra Cain Batgirl really strong, and other characters is really powerful. Now, Rebirth Jessica Cruz, in my opinion, while the extending the Special 2 and adds combat effects by Green Lantern on a team is kind of cool, the problem is there really isn't good synergies with that. Like, you could use Red Sun Green Lantern. The problem is Red Sun Green Lantern does absolutely nothing, but as far as stats go, that's the best standard Green Lantern outside of Rebirth Jessica Cruz. And the damage over time component is not very strong. So, mostly one Green Lantern to snare, and the best one, obviously, for that is John Stewart. But we're not going to be talking about Green Lantern synergy because it's just terrible. Now, is Justice League Wonder Woman affected by Green Lantern? Yes. Is Rebirth Jessica Cruz affected by that? She should be. So, you could use Justice League Wonder Woman and 600 Wonder Woman for an offensive team. That should work pretty well because gaining power is really strong. Now, the way you want to gear Rebirth Jessica Cruz, because she's an offensive card, in my opinion, even though she has stats to do okay defensively, I really think the optimal setup would either be a setup like this, or if you run like Blade of the War God and Mutated Bone Spikes and you have a lot of blocking, you could also go with Gauntlets of Azrael, so you have a bunch of healing that way, and you don't have to worry about the Mutated Bone Spikes. If you spam the light combo ender, obviously you have to use your discretion on that, which one is better. But you don't need special one healing if you have Gauntlets of Azrael. That should be good, even though direct healing sometimes is better than trying to actually use a combo ender. So, really it depends on your playstyle and what you're using. So, this is a decent team. Other synergies, obviously, you can use Batgirl and just shred people when the stun hits. So you can even use Cassandra Cain Batgirl and that would work really well. Now, obviously the teams that would work the best with that, well, you'd have to have 600 Wonder Woman, but obviously Killer Frost is amazing with anybody. Like, Killer Frost is one of the few cards in the game that synergize with everybody, but this is a team that, this is like an offensive version. Like, if you want a really powerful offensive team, you could go with this lineup here. Obviously, Killer Frost is super useful, which is why people would run a team like this. But for the sake of Rebirth Jessica Cruz, you could also go like this. Have Rebirth Jessica Cruz be your main damage dealer. Have 600 Wonder Woman kind of do utility damage with like the League of Assassins, Demonize in the stick, and a gear item with special 1. And Killer Frost you'd probably have with Fourth World. And that's probably how you would do that. So like Killer Frost, you'd have all the Fourth World, not just two-piece, obviously in multiplayer. So you would have Killer Frost geared like this. You would have Rebirth Jessica Cruz geared up offensively. And 600 Wonder Woman, you would have League of Assassins, Demonize the Image Stick, and you would have the Knife Collection. So this way, Wonder Woman is really good with shield tosses and spamming those special ones to do a lot of damage. Obviously, my Wonder Woman is not augmented, but an augmented 600 Wonder Woman would do really well. And Rebirth Jessica Cruz, you just need basic damage. You don't need any like major onslaught. But if you want to play a little more defensively, the LexCorp two-piece is really good because you can also gain power. You can drain power with Ra's al Ghul's Scimitar. The LexCorp helmet is all the block you need. Unless you're using the Scarecrow mask, then that's really good. You get more damage on crits, and you get dot damage on the special. The LexCorp chestplate gives you a 99% life drain chance on special 2, 70% crit on basic attacks, which is good enough, especially if you're running augments. And Getting the hang of this is a really good Special 2 move. Obviously, I haven't upgraded this because we'll have to do an Elite X video down the road. Obviously, we'd have to promote the card to Elite 7 first, and then break through 3 times on it. So, what other teams are really good with Rebirth Jessica Cruz? Obviously, Green Lantern synergy would look probably something like this. Like, you would bypass a gold Green Lantern. You'd probably get matched up with slightly easy opponents. You might get some stupid opponents. But Red Sun Green Lantern, well, obviously he has the stats. But 25% power generation is really strong. If you really care about the Green Lantern synergy, I really think silver is better than running 2 golds. But Red Sun Green Lantern could be a powerful card. Like, you'd probably have to throw a 4th world on him and just kind of have him be like the meat shield, while Rebirth Jessica Cruz just mauls people, and John Stewart Green Lantern would probably have something to do with special damage with parallel nature. So, Dylan says, how do you have her level 50? You just recharge with energy over and over again. And yeah, there you go. I knew somebody would be like, how do you have her level 50? And when you guys see the video, you just do bonus battle 6 until level 45. Then you hit bonus battle 7 to level 50, and after about 2 to 3 cycles, you'll have it easily. So, we're going to look at a lot of the cards that don't work with Jessica Cruz. Obviously, the Aquamans do nothing for Jessica Cruz. Ares is one of those interesting cards because with Injustice 2 Superman going to Elite X with a ridiculous amount of health, you're probably guaranteed to stick the unblockable effect on him unless you crit. So, something worth mentioning. Obviously, the Red Suns can still survive that. Luchador Bane is obviously a solid choice because Jessica Cruz has a stun on Commander. And what do people like running on Luchador Bane? Well, they like to run 3 specific gear items: the Cloak of Destiny, the Ibistic, and the League of Assassins Deptonize, and just destroy you for 400,000 damage on Special 1. And I imagine that with the level 60 Elite X, it's going to get even more insane. So Luchador Bane does have a place with Rebirth Jessica Cruz, because if you land a stun on Commander, Luchador Bane can just rip your face off. And I'm not even joking, he's going to rip your face off real quick. Batgirl can also combo that. Batmans obviously are good with Luchador Bane. Stun mechanics are really powerful, as we know in Injustice Gods Among Us. So, yeah, Arkham Knight Batman, even this setup could be offensive. You could run Arkham Knight Batman defensively, and you have 2 people that can set up stuns, and Luchador Bane can just stun himself. Obviously, the hard counters would be Killer Frost when you can't generate power, and the Red Sun team because you can't crit them. So, and you can't stun them either when they're running Green Lantern, but pretty interesting there. So, Blackest Night Batman obviously does not give unblockable chance to Jessica Cruz. Don't use Blackest Night characters with him. And if you do, only use Martian Manhunter, because Martian Manhunter can benefit everybody with that heal. So Prime Batman, when you're leveling up, is really good because you get 25% damage. So if you're struggling with Jessica Cruz, that's not bad. Black Adam has horrible synergy with Rebirth Jessica Cruz because you're fighting over the Rock'n'Roll Scimitar. Don't do that. Don't put Black Adam on your team with Jessica Cruz. I don't think any of the Catwomans also make sense with Rebirth Jessica Cruz. So don't put Catwomans with her. Darkseid, if anything, you could probably go Apocalypse Darkseid, set him up as a tank. That would probably work pretty well. His Special 1 is really good. But, yeah, not bad. You could also set up Apocalypse Darkseid with a Cloak of Destiny, so that way he can come in with his Omega Blast or the Dark Lord and do a bunch of damage. Like, the Cloak of Destiny on a character that natively stuns can be good and it can be bad. Obviously, if you put the Cloak of Destiny on Rebirth Jessica Cruz, when she does her combo ender, you can combo with a getting the hang of this and do insane damage. The battery ram is not bad, but getting the hang out of this is a really good ability. Arkham Origins Deathstroke can also set up with Rebirth Jessica Cruz, throw the Cloak of Destiny, League of Assassins, Deptonize, and Ibistic. That works pretty good. The problem with that is Arkham Origins Deathstroke hits a lot of times with point blank, so it's not really a good card with Arkham Origins Deathstroke. Now, Doomsday also is one of those cards that have high damage single hit moves, at least Prime Doomsday, so you could throw the Cloak of Destiny on him, overwhelm your opponent, take a little damage in the beginning, get off a Supernova and Earthshake, and yeah, win the game that way. But other than that, not really useful. Arrow Green Arrow can stun with the freeze, but I don't think that's a good setup either. Harley Quinn's, again, you could use Animated Harley Quinn with 600 Wonder Woman. You do a lot of damage with Rebirth Jessica Cruz. Arkham Knight Harley Quinn also has the weird tag-in mechanics that could be good if Jessica Cruz is overwhelming somebody. Obviously, suicide teams you really don't want to use with Rebirth Jessica Cruz, and if you do, I would recommend leaving the Joker out because he's the least useful. And if you run Suicide Squad Deadshot and Harley Quinn as support with Rebirth Jessica Cruz, that could work okay. Although the Joker does give some tanking mechanics, and I don't know if you want to do that. Now, if you run one Green Lantern, Hawkgirl and Rebirth Jessica Cruz can pretty much keep somebody permanently snared. So, like, you could run John Stewart Green Lantern with Hawkgirl, and if you're not taking a lot of damage, like, John Stewart Green Lantern is probably a tanky card compared to a damage dealer. However, Rebirth Jessica Cruz just has way better stats, as you can see. So, yeah, John Stewart Green Lantern would probably be like the two-piece LexCorp and something else kind of guy. Jessica Cruz would be all damage. You'd probably throw Fourth World on Hawkgirl, just because I don't really like the Bloody War. And Special Ones seem to be decent on Hawkgirl. It also has a stun component as well. So, this team, you'd pretty much keep somebody permanently snared, and you also got the emergency barrier. Interesting, not really that powerful, but yeah. Obviously, Killer Frost with Injustice 2 Superman would be the optimal way to use the card. So if you're running Rebirth Jessica Cruz, you can throw in Injustice 2 Superman. It was pretty much good on every team. Even a Red Sun team, you don't really need, Superman, Red Sun, if you're running Injustice 2. Obviously, the crit damage can get annoying and he can get stunned. So that's one drawback. But yeah, you could even use Injustice 2 Superman. He'll probably pound anybody's face in. But Killer Frost is the real key element because if you're not having to absorb specials, well, it just makes the fight so much easier. And yeah, you could even use Raven with Killer Frost. That's also really powerful. Obviously, when you're controlling Raven, it's a lot easier than when the computer controls Raven. So you shouldn't have a problem with that. So you could use this team. It would be really good. You don't even need 600 Wonder Woman. This would be a really solid all-round team. You could have Killer Frost with two-piece LexCorp, her personal gear item. You'd heal a shitload on special, too. Raven would have probably Fourth World, just to add in the extra resurrection. And Jessica Cruz would just have damage. Like, I just see Rebirth Jessica Cruz as a damage dealer, not a tank. But yeah, Blackest Night Martian Manhunter is probably the only Blackest Night character you would actually use because Life Drain, Health Siphon goes the entire team, and having heals is really strong. So yeah. You could also go like this. This is okay if you don't like Raven. Blackest Night Martian Manhunter does serve as a tank. Not quite as much health as Rebirth Jessica Cruz. I think Martian Manhunter has 1,300. Yep, the stats indicate that. And Rebirth Jessica Cruz has 1,325. But 1,300 health is a decent amount. Like, a lot of people in patch 2.9 were actually using a whole Dawn of Justice team, and Superman or Batman had Fourth World. Obviously, Dawn of Justice Batman has 1,200 health, and Dawn of Justice Superman has 1,300, but I found those teams were just a little bit weak. But Martian Manhunter with the defensive tool is good enough for that. The Flashes I don't think are really good with Rebirth Jessica Cruz. I don't think Shazam is good with Rebirth Jessica Cruz. I don't think any Sinestros are good. Like, even Green Lantern Sinestro is a horrible passive. That's not going to see much play. Earth 2 Solomon Grundy with Rebirth Jessica Cruz is not a good idea. Static is an interesting card, though. Static you could use as a tank, and it would work really well. Like, you could throw two-piece LexCorp on Static with the Scarecrow mask, generate a shitload of power, have tanking, blocking, and all utility abilities, and yeah, Static could actually do wonders with you. Static would do really well. And it's a solid card. Like, when I did my buffing bad cards video and I did a video with Static, I was blown out of my mind how well the Scarecrow's mask worked on him. Like, he took a special from Static and basically gained 2 bars of power. And with the two-piece LexCorp, he was really hard to kill. And because he gained power when the opponent used specials, he could just control the field. Like, I really think Static could be good enough, and I think after Apocalypse Darkseid and the Suicide Squad team, he's one that I need to work on. Dawn of Justice Superman, obviously, if you can shatter gear, it's amazing. Is it good with Rebirth Jessica Cruz? No, there's better options, for sure. Injustice 2 Superman, like I said, is your best option if you use a Superman. Like, you obviously don't use Red Sun synergy with Rebirth Jessica Cruz, and if you do, it's probably basic damage and power generation, but Red Sun Green Lantern too, because then you can't be crit or stunned. So, yeah, Red Sun synergy does not work. You could probably use Wonder Woman and Green Lantern, and try to use Rebirth Jessica Cruz and not take a whole lot of like stun damage on tag-in, like use her when the opponent tags in. Arkham Knight, the Arkham Knight is not really a good choice. Like, even the Batmans are not a good choice with Jessica Cruz, even though you have stun mechanics. But it really depends. Like, if you have stun mechanics with Batman who can stun you really easily and put the Cloak of Destiny, get a special 2 on Jessica Cruz, it might work. It's very possible. Metahuman the Flash is not a good fit for Rebirth Jessica Cruz because the damage that builds up with Metahuman the Flash is after the specials, and when the opponent is stunned, it doesn't matter. So yeah, not good synergy. With the Jokers, it has horrible synergy. And with Wonder Woman, it's 600 Wonder Woman and Justice League Wonder Woman that actually work, and yeah, I don't really like Zatanna either. So I feel like this video talking about team synergy with Rebirth Jessica Cruz and who I should use. Please give this video a like rating, comment, subscribe, share this video amongst your friends, and as a favorite, check out my other Injustice Gods Among Us videos playlist, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, which are all HollywoodShono. And will you guys be making a Rebirth team once the other 2 components are in place, or are you going to try to make Rebirth Jessica Cruz work with Killer Frost and Injustice 2 Superman or any of the other high-powered cards? Have a wonderful day, kids.
www.youtube.com/HollywoodShono. Subscribe, bitches!